Okay, friends, now please close your eyes and I'll say a few things, but please share it as you keep your eyes closed. Please keep your eyes closed, friends, and share these thoughts. If I ask you, please open your eyes, you will do something. You will open your eyes that are closed. If I ask you to get up, you can get up from sitting down. If I ask you to walk, you use your legs, take a walk. If I ask you to speak, you open your mouth and speak something. If I ask you to do anything, to see, to hear, to touch, to taste, to smell something, to walk, to lift, to move, you have to do something or other. To read, to swim, to sing, any action, you have to do something. If I ask you, please be conscious. Please be conscious. What can you do? Suppose you are doing something, please sing. And then I say, please stop singing. You shall do something. You close your mouth. You are walking. I ask you, please don't walk. You will stop walking. You are reading, singing, swimming. When I say not to read, not to sing, not to swim, again you do something by not doing what you are doing. But when I asked you, please be conscious, you can't do anything. As even if I ask you, please be unconscious, you cannot be unconscious. It is that simple, friends. To be yourself. The awareness, consciousness, Chaitanya Atma, the self that you are, the awareness that you are. There is nothing to do, nothing not to do, no action of any kind, neither the inaction of any kind is needed for you to be who you are. Again, friends, if I ask you, how are you aware of your internal organs, your physical body, external body, and there are so many organs within. Can you see your stomach? See your intestine? Can you touch the internal organs? Sense organs are not capable of seeing inside the body. Nor can your sense organs hear your thoughts, see your thoughts. Eyes cannot see your thoughts, ears cannot hear your thoughts, tongue cannot taste it, nose cannot smell it, skin cannot touch it, eyes cannot see it. You can only be conscious of your inner organs, the pain within or the comfort within. Your thoughts are not subject to perception. You can only be conscious. So to remember something, if I ask you, please see that, friends, play with it. Just play with it. If I ask you, please remember your childhood, you bring back the memory. Remember your father, your brother, your friends in the school, the place you visited a few days back. You have to bring back memories, thoughts that are stored in memories must be invoked. To remember, you must have a thought. You have to invoke a thought. You cannot remember somebody without a thought. You cannot remember something which is not here without a thought. But friends, to be yourself, what thought you need? To be conscious. You don't need a thought. Without the thought, the object of thought is forgotten. The glory of the self, the easiness of the self that you are, ease. With a thought, Please listen. If the job of the thought is to remind you, the thought of the father reminds your father, the thought about yourself, Sat, Chit, Ananda, Atma, Brahma, consciousness, these words, if you know the meaning of it, these thoughts will remind you who you are. Your thoughts are not the objects that they remind. Thoughts remind, but thoughts are not the object that they remind. The thought about yourself is not the self that they remind. So when there is a thought about yourself, you remember a verse, it shall remind you who you are. But in case the thought of your father is not there, you will never remember your father, your friends, your experiences that you have experienced through your sense organs. But in case of the self, the thought about it reminds you who you are. When there are no thoughts, you are who you are. That is why who you are, the self, the awareness, is independent of a thought. You don't need a thought to be yourself, the consciousness. What thought you must invoke? And what is that thought you cannot have? It's like the word silence. The word silence, when spoken, produces a sound. The word silence, when it is spoken, silence, it produces a sound. So the word silence is not what it intends to reveal. And when the word is not there, the meaning of the word silence always existing. So with a word, it can be reminded. Without the word, it's already there. Same way, friends. To be yourself. To be conscious. You cannot do anything. You need not do anything. You don't have to have a thought, or there is no condition that there should not be any thought. Please see the simplicity, immediacy, effortlessness of wisdom that we all are. self, the awareness. Call it Atma, Brahma, Chetana. 1,000 names, no name. Whereas, to see, you must open your eyes. Not to see, you must close your eyes. You must do something. To walk or not to walk. To move or not to move. To speak or not to speak. To think or not to think. You have to do something. There is no choice in that. In case of being yourself, you cannot do anything. Nothing needs to be done. That is because, as you have been seeing, it is already gained. Nitya apta prapta, always reached. Nitya siddha, accomplished. Who you are already reached, already gained. What should you do? Remember that example in the class. To reach a place in the space, you do something. What should you do to reach the space itself? You are already in it. Just see that, friends. To have a thought, you have to wait. To be conscious, instantaneous. It's not a sound to be heard, ears are not needed. It's not a touch to be touched, skin is not needed. It's not a sight to be seen, eyes can be closed or opened. Eyes are not needed. When a blind man is conscious, the deaf is conscious. It's not a taste to be tasted, tongue is not required. It's not a smell to be smelt. No nose is required. No sense organs required. No sensation required. No perception required. And therefore no thoughts required. But you to be you. Silence, awareness, consciousness, chetana, name it whatever you like. No name shall describe it. Yet, a name is very helpful, because when the names like mango, coconut, tiger, diamond, woman, child, man, stars, all these words will remind various things when you say the word Atma, awareness, Chaitanya, immortality. These words do not remind you of any theme. It's not a drishya, not a perception, not a sight or a sound, not a touch or a taste. So these words cannot, please understand, the name surely never describes what it is, but it differentiates it from every other object that you have named in life. Chetana, Atma, doesn't mean any object that you hear, see, taste, touch, smell. Trees, animals, human beings, any role or memories of any kind. So a name helps, yet a name is not needed. To see the mountain, you have to travel hundreds of miles. Or even 5 feet away there is something, a tree. To see something, you have to travel some distance away from your body. To hear a sound, you may have to travel. To touch, taste, smell something, you may have to travel distance. In your own body, you may wait for the youth, your old age, your disease, your health. In your own mind, you may have to wait for a thought of any kind. New thought to be picked up, old thought to be revoked. But at no time you have to go somewhere, travel, or do something. Invoke a thought, perceive something, do anything whatsoever to be the self-awareness, right here and now. Every moment you are who you are. Sayane, swapane, jagarane. Waking, dream, deep sleep. Childhood, youth, old age. Past, present, future. Yesterday, today, tomorrow. Now or later. You are always who you are. Just see that, be that, friends. Thank you, friends. Now please see that for yourself. We shall continue the classes. You must recognize the instantaneous, the timeless nature of your being, who you are. So that words that we saw those days, I shall explain it more, We'll go into knowledge side of it. The two words, experience. Who you are, Anubhava Swarupa, experience itself. There are two things, experiencing an object and the experiencing itself. Okay, just play with that word. You are listening to me. You are experiencing the sound with your ears. Listen. You are seeing this flower. You are experiencing the flower with your eyes. So seeing is an experiencing. Listening is an experiencing. Smelling, experiencing the smell. Touching, experiencing the touch. Tasting, experiencing the taste. So please see that words. We have elaborately seen in last two classes. I hope you see it, okay? To use your nose. Touch experiences, use your skin. How do you experience yourself? Which is asabdam, asparsham, arupam, arasam, agandham. It's not a sound to be heard, not a touch to be touched, not a taste to be tasted, not a smell to be smelt, not a sight to be seen, but continuously experienced. We saw that elaborately, just hinting you, then we'll go to the knowledge. Experiencing something continuous. You are experiencing seeing. How do you experience? Please see. Are you seeing this? Just a little bit I am repeating. Do you see this flower? Yes. You are experiencing seeing. Close your eyes. You are not experiencing the flower. Do you see the flower? Yes. You are experiencing the flower. How do you experience? How do you know? I know. What do you know? I am experiencing. So you are experiencing that you are experiencing the flower. Take away the flower, you are experiencing seeing. Close your eyes, you are experiencing not seeing. Experiencing, knowing doesn't go away. Here the experiencing means already knowing. Experiencing hearing. That hearing can be stopped. Experiencing continues. Like seeing continues. Seeing the flower need not continue. You are seeing the flower. I take away the flower. But seeing continues. Thus there are two levels as though. I deliberately repeat it because the word experiences in all the time talked about in a very, very loose way. Sense experiences can be stopped, can be renewed. You can stop sensing and you can begin sensing. Sense experiences can be stopped, can begin. But experiencing, the sense experiences continuous. You are experiencing seeing by the eyes, you are experiencing not seeing by the... So then we say you are experiencing means you are conscious. You are experiencing the presence of a thought, you are experiencing the absence of the thought. Thoughts are not experienced by your eyes. Thoughts are not experienced by your ears. Ears cannot hear the thought. Eyes cannot see the thought. Tongue cannot taste it. Nose cannot smell it. Skin cannot touch it. It's beautiful. Yet your thought experiences, people are waiting for. They talk about exotic experiences as enlightenment. No, friends. Upanishad is absolutely beautiful. Kenopanishad says, Tadeva brahmatvam viddhina idam yad idam iti upasate. Anything that is objectified, anything that is experienced, anything that is seen, heard, touched, tasted, smelt, anything that is felt is not it. Na idam. That in whose presence you see, hear, taste, touch, smell. So that experiencing is something continuous. You cannot escape it. So now, let us move on from that. Knowing very well this is what it is, a person can ask a question, how do I know this? That's a very habitual question. How do I know this? How do you know what? How do I know myself? Listen carefully. You are continuously experiencing it. But you don't know it. That is the peculiarity. You are continuously experiencing it, but not knowing it. Does it ever happen? Experiencing and not knowing? Yes, all the time it's happening. You are experiencing the entire garden, all the trees you know. You are experiencing all the human beings you know. You are experiencing your own physical body, your sense organs. Inside the body also. Do you know every part of your body? So experience is not knowledge. Listen carefully. That is why when people say that terrible statement, I know everything, but do I have the experience? No, friends, it's just the other way around. That is the beauty of this teaching tradition. Oh, Guru, what a teacher. To point out something which you are already continuously, whether you like it or not, want it or not, you are it. You can be experiencing it, but you may not know it. Listen, friends. Then how do I know it? How do you know anything ever? Please see, that is the point you must see. How do you get the knowledge? Long before a child, anyone for that matter, before you get knowledge, we are already experiencing everything. Please. Informations you can have before you experience. We have explained to it, I don't want to elaborately. Informations you can pick up before you experience something. But experiencing is continuous before you know it. Even before you know an unknown object. Suppose I am taking you to a museum or to a garden to help you to know certain trees. When I take you to the garden, you are already experiencing it. You are seeing it all. I am taking you to a forest to teach you the bird and the bird sound. You are already listening to the birds, you are already listening to the sounds of the birds, you are already hearing, you are seeing the birds, you are listening to the sounds, you are seeing all the plants, but you don't know anything. Experiencing complete. Then I say, this is the macaw. This is that poison ivy. Oh, what is the oh? Because your information, it is getting transformed to the knowledge. Understand? The words, how do you convert information? How do you convert your information to knowledge? First you see it. So, for getting the knowledge of something, a means of knowledge is required. Suppose you don't know about a flower, please, you don't know the flower, eyes are the means of knowledge. For a sight, for the flower to be seen, eyes are needed. To see the flower, that is why I call as the appropriate means of knowledge. This was the speciality of the traditional teaching. This is what our Swamiji was famous, what shall I say? It is like a millennial-old ancient tradition of revelation. Please see the beauty of it, instantaneous. To know something, how do you know something? You don't know a flower. Ignorance is there. To remove the ignorance of the flower, what you should do? You should have the knowledge of the flower. To get the knowledge of the flower, you should have the means of knowledge. To get the knowledge of the flower, I should means of knowledge. And what is the means of knowledge? With your eyes only you can see the flower. Your eyes can give you the color of the flower, the shape of the flower. Eyes cannot, if you want the fragrance of the flower, use your nose. If you want to have the taste of the petals, use your tongue. If you want to get the touch of the flower, use your skin. Unfortunately, flower has no noise, so you can never hear a flower. Okay? There has to be a means of knowledge. To listen to a sound, ears must be used. To touch a form, to touch something, touch sensation, skin must be used. To see something, eyes must be used. To taste something, tongue must be used. To smell something, nose must be used. You know that. Now, who you are, which is Anubhava Swarupa, the consciousness, already we have seen that, is not a sound to be heard. Ears are redundant. Is not a sight to be seen. Eyes are redundant. Suppose Atma, consciousness, standing outside, is not a sound to be heard. Is not a touch to be touched. Is not a taste to be tasted. Are you standing out? Are you a taste? Are you a sound? Are you a touch? Are you a sight? Are you a smell? No. That is why when somebody says, I stood there and suddenly there burst of light from inside. Why are you making it Tadeva Brahmatvam Vidhinam Yidam Yad Idam iti upasana? Anything that if you say this, that is not the truth. Is not a sound, not a touch, not a taste, not a sound, not a smell, nothing. Not even a thought. Think. Not a sound, not a touch, not a taste, not a smell, not a sight, not even a thought. So if all the five sense organs are not needed now, but still experienced, how do you know that? That is where they tell a very beautiful story. Okay? How you are continuously experiencing it, but not knowing it. A very traditional story, I'll tell you a little bit of it, please think of it. Most of you have already heard it because you have been listening to it. The 10th man story. There was a teacher, those who have already heard, the moment is 10th man, I have already heard it. Don't get lost in your memories. Don't say, I have already heard it. I'm not interested in for you to remember the story. When you say you have already heard it, are you being yourself or waiting for the next story? Or I have already heard it, so I don't have to hear it. Then you are level at the level of the thought all the time, you are miserable. Understand? Asking for new information, new thought, new words and all that stuff. No, see it clearly. 10 disciples of a master went planning to go to the other side of the Ganges. And as they were crossing the river, they are going to cross the river, to make the long story short, they reach the Ganges bank, they want to go to the other side. But they don't know swimming. They don't know, they are waiting for the boatman is not there. How long can they wait? Youngsters, they wanted to cross the river. As they are crossing the river, the leader who had taken the charge of the group, he had taken responsibility for the teachers that I shall taking 10 people, bringing back 10 people, 10 of us will come back. He counted it 10, went to the other side. When the other side they reached, after crossing the river, The leader is counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? So in either excitement, suddenly he found, where is the 10th man? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everybody is worried because they want to somehow move away. So they don't have time for changing, counting and all this stuff. Very excited. So one fellow says, hey, you stand here, I am counting. So he comes in, other fellow goes in, he also counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Everybody counts. There are 9 people. Before they were crossing the river, there was an old man sitting down there. He was waiting for the boat. He doesn't know swimming. He didn't dare to cross the river. After 1 hour, the boatman comes. He comes in the boat. And he sees the 10 fellows are still standing on the other side and worried. He asked them, what happened? No, sir, what happened? 10 of us came and now we are, after crossing the river, we are counting. There are only 9 people. We don't know where is the 10th man. What are you talking? So the old man looked at them, smiled. Every part of see the nuances of the story is amazing. He saw them, they are miserable, he smiled. Then he said, okay, stand now. Yes, count. What to do? Okay, count. Then he said, count. The leader stood and counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where is the 10th man? The person said, Tvam dasamosi. You are the 10th man. Listen carefully. You are the 10th man. Oh, now among these 10 people standing, whoever is count is the 10th man. Who was the 10th man? Every person is 10th man, right? See the story. But see the nuances of it. The teacher knows very clearly. He sees it very clearly. But the person is searching. The 10th man, is he not continuously experiencing the 10th man? Seeing himself, hearing himself, touching himself, tasting himself, smelling himself. 5 sense experiences are complete. That 5 sense organs with which you usually get the knowledge of something, the 5 sense organs are used, but still he doesn't get the knowledge. There is experience. 10th man's experience is complete, but the person doesn't know. Listen carefully. If you search for it, you deny that you are the 10th man. If you don't search for it, you don't get it either. That is the fork. If you look for it, you deny you are the 10th man. The moment you look for it, you deny that you are the 10th man. And if you don't look for it, you don't get it either. So what do? That is where just like yourself, the nature, consciousness, self, happiness, you are the happiness, you are the self, the awareness. If you look for happiness, you deny that you are the happiness. If you don't look for it, you don't get it either. Headache. If you look for yourself, you are denying yourself. If you don't look for it, you don't get it either. You can put that word, self, happiness, freedom, liberation, enlightenment, infinity, immortality, all one. The moment you look for, listen friend, infinity you cannot look for it, because infinity cannot be infinity unless He includes me. God is no God unless I am included. All-pervasive is no all-pervasive unless I am included. You cannot become all-pervasive, you cannot become immortal. Don't dream that somebody will make you. That is why the beauty of these teachers, Aho Guru, Aho Shastra, what a tradition. And who is that somebody who is not? Everybody is infinity, everybody is immortal. Even before you know, it has reached you. The 10th man somehow forgot. How? He is the 10th man. He is looking for the 10th man. Siddha. 10th man is Siddha. Is not sadhya. Is not to be reached. Is not to be gained. Is not to be produced. Is not to be purified. It is not to be samskaryam, purified or modified. No, it's already reached. 10th man is already 10th man. And every one of them is 10th man. The moment they look for it, they deny that you are it. Now the teacher comes. The teacher knows. He sees it, 10th man. All the 5 means of knowledge are over. Because ignorance creates the distance. I am the 10th man, but I don't know I am the 10th man. Standing in the ashram, you are looking for the ashram. Standing in the universe, you are looking for the universe. Standing with one with infinity, you are looking for infinity. Standing one with the happiness, you are looking for happiness. Standing one with the God, Isha Vashyam Idam Sarvam, you are looking for God. You understand, this is a sad joke perpetrated on man, God playing the fool. You are what you are looking for. Whatever you are looking for happiness, you are that. Looking for the absolute, you are that. Infinity, you are that. All pervasiveness, you are that. Anandam, the absolute joy, you are that. Anything that you are looking for, immortality, you are that. And the moment you look for it, you deny that you are it. If you don't look for it, you don't get it either. That is why the meaning of the word I explained to you so carefully. Remember the coconut. So many times. How fantastic it is. You are what you are looking for. The moment you look for it, you deny that you are it. But if you don't look for it, you don't get it either. That is where the Upanishad will declare beautifully, Pariksha lokan karmachitan nirvedamayad brahmana tasmat tat vijnanartham gurumeva vigachet samitpani srutriyam brahmanishtam. Brahmana nirvedamayat. The wise man, this discriminative individual, became frustrated. Nirvedamayat. If I look for it, I deny it. If I don't look for it, I don't get it. And why he became helpless? Nasti akrutaha krutena. Akrutaha ajanya mokshaha krutena karmana nasti. I am looking for immortality, liberation, freedom, which should not be subject to loss. That which is created in time will be lost in time. If it should not be lost in time, it should not be created in time. If it should not be created in time, it should be already existing. If it is already existing, nasti akrutaha krutena. Akrutaha ajanya mokshaha. That which is not created, not being born, eternally existing, krutena karmana nasti. You cannot produce something which is already produced. In your attempt to produce it, you deny that it is there. In your attempt to reach it, you deny that it is reached. In your attempt to gain it, you think it is, in your attempt to gain it, you deny that it is already gained. In your attempt to accomplish it, you know it is already, you deny that it is already accomplished. Siddha. Prasadhya, do sadhana. For Siddha, for prapyam, to be gained, do something. That which is already gained. A place not reached, do something. That place which is already reached. 10th man, for the 10th man, already reached. Already gained. Already accomplished. Still is searching. In the very search, he denies himself. That is the beauty of the human tradition. It's not a Hindu stuff, Muslim stuff, Christian stuff. There is no religious stuff, nothing. Both so-called secular and religious stuff completely destroys you. Understand, friends? Just see it very clearly. You go to school and college. We have gone to school and college. What did they teach us? The experiences that we don't have. Sadhya. If you study this, you become a professional, you shall get a car. You get this knowledge, I want to get a car, I want to become the car owner. Then what do you do? Struggle. Struggle. What will happen? Then you will be happy. That happiness never comes. Please understand. And anything created in time is lost in time. You get the car in time, lost in time. You get the marriage in time, lost in time. You get the child in time, you are lost or child is lost. You become rich, that is lost or this is lost. That is how it happens. But your struggle continues. You never reach the goal. Go to religious people, he shall say, they also make a sadhya, heaven, place to be reached. A God, a person to be seen or heard or known or embraced or touched or whatever it is. So you are different from that what you want to reach. And it's a crime to say, God is here. I am God is heresy. How can you say you are the happiness? There is no chance for happiness in this world. That is how we have been conditioned. Man is mortal. Samsara dukkham. These are the type of ideas we hear about. You can't dare to say that I am the absolute, I am the happiness, I am the immortality. You do not understand immortality. What shall I say? If the limitation of the human being is, it cannot be simultaneously at two different places. The limitation of God, the truth, as it is revealed in the Upanishads, it cannot withdraw itself from any places. You can challenge God. How can I challenge God? Challenge Him. Withdraw from me. Can the infinite withdraw itself from finite? Can the absolute withdraw itself from the relative? Can the space withdraw itself from a particular form? Can the silence withdraw itself from a sound? Can the immortality withdraw itself from mortality? Isolated, mortal, together immortal. Isolated a drop, together ocean. Isolating yourself, you are considering all these things. Secular knowledge goes on isolating and giving you exclusive identity. So-called religious knowledge also goes on, isolating and make you exclusive follower of exclusive God. Exclusive practice. No, friends, the truth is all-inclusive. Infinity, absolute, all-pervasive. Already Siddha. Nobody stands apart. Nothing stands apart. Natat samosti kutopi adhika anyaha. There is nothing similar to it. Where is the question of lesser or more than that? That is the absolute knowledge, already accomplished. 10th man, already reached, already known. Experiencing continuously, but not knowing. A flower has to be known how it is not continuously experienced. It is away from you. If you get the information about the flower, you have to go to a flower, open your eyes, then see it. If you have the information about a sound, go to Niagara Fall, listen to the sound of the Niagara Fall there, and then name it. This is the Niagara. Or else some fellow take you to some waterfall here nearby your house and say Niagara. And that's what people do that. Think of it. In case of the truth, please, the infinity, which is not a sight, not a sound, not a taste. So how can somebody give you the sensation of infinity? It's not a sensation. Sensation of absolute, colorful, blue, red, green colors and all this stuff, like yogic language is so misleading. You listen to that, I shall give you the ahe, that anahat sabda. You shall listen to the anahat. Anahat means some mysterious sound. No, friends. Anahat itself means absolute infinity consciousness. Hatha in Sanskrit means han, to strike. Han, strike. See? Strike. Hatha. Two hands hitting each other, strike. It's a sound. Ahata, asamanta tata, very well struck. Oh, ahata. Anahata means unstruck. What is unstruck? Sound? Somebody says, I sit down in meditation, I listen to the flute. The disturbance in my stomach. I don't want to talk about it. Please, friends, please get into your whatever you feel like. If that gives you comfort, continue. If it's a sound heard, the sound will go away. Your ears will go. It's not a sound to be heard, a touch to be touched, a taste to be tasted, smell to be smelled. Consciousness yourself continuously experienced. The moment you look for it, you deny it. Then how does the 10th man continuously experience, knows himself? Anything not experienced, listen carefully. If you want to get the knowledge of the flower, which is away from you, please, if you want to get the knowledge of the flower, which is away from you, first go to the flower. And when you go to the flower, before you even know it, you are experiencing it. When you are experiencing it, you are standing there, still waiting to be introduced to flower. A person who knows comes and tells, what he says, this is the flower or it shall be the flower. This is the flower. Instantaneous. Knowledge means instantaneous. Traveling is not instantaneous. Covering distance is not instantaneous. Knowledge is instantaneous. Experience of thing is not instantaneous, but experiencing is instantaneous because you are conscious. I hope you see it, all that, friends. It's tremendous stuff. So you go to the place, see the object, and then you introduce to it. Here, where shall you go to see yourself? Everywhere you are there. Every time you are there. In every place you are there. As I told you in the beginning classes, you cannot come in to the teacher leaving yourself behind in your house. Can you say, I came but I left myself there? You really? The easiest of the knowledge. Why? Because the student is bringing the subject that he wants to learn. In physics, chemistry, mathematics, history, geography, it is very difficult because you do not bring the subject you want to learn. You have to pick it up. Therefore, if you pick it up, get by heart, you are a PhD. If you don't get by heart, you are a gadhe. There is no question of pass and fail in Brahmajnana. There is no question of pass and fail. PhD, honors and all that stuff. Everybody is same. No gradation, nothing, no labels. Everybody is same. Informations you can compete. He is Mahasastri, he is 108 Vachaspati, all that stuff. This man is Martanda Mahamara, all that stuff. Vedanta Martanda, Vedanta Surya. So many different names you can give in an information competition. That is why when you know Shastra, you become a Shastri. When you know yourself, Jnani. A Shastri is not Jnani. All the information has got in his head. Nothing knowing. Bharasya vaha natu chandanasya. Carries the load of sandalwood on the back with the biggest nose. The donkey doesn't enjoy the fragrance of the flower. Fragrance of the sandalwood. You carry the load of scriptures. There is no fragrance of living because the person doesn't understand it. Please understand. Comparison, contrast. What a thing. If you still feel superior, inferior to somebody, you don't know anything whatsoever. Understand? So when you go to this, see something, sound, you hear it, introduced. You touch it, introduced. You are tasting, you are seeing it, tasting it, smelling it, then you are introduced. That is how you get the knowledge. In self-knowledge, it's not a sound, not a touch, not a taste, not a smell, not a sight, not a thought. But always experienced. What shall he do? The 5 means of knowledge are over, like the 10th man. The 10th man is continuously experiencing himself. Seen, heard, tasted, touched, smelled. Then how will you know? Ignorance creates the distance. How will the ignorance go? By knowledge. How will the knowledge come? Means of knowledge. And what is the means of knowledge? Available 5 means of knowledge gone. You can't hear the 10th man, taste the 10th man, touch the 10th man, smell the 10th man, taste the 10th man. Available means of knowledge gone. Then what shall I do? Shabda pramana. The Shabda, the words becomes a pramana, means of knowledge. Pramana means pramanam, pramama karoti iti. Which brings the knowledge, which introduces you to yourself. By what? Shabda. Words are the means of knowledge. Even friends, if you really think, you shall see, these available 5 means of knowledge are not really, they don't give you knowledge. They give you perception, sensation, experience. They don't give you knowledge. You can see the flower. You can have the fragrance of the flower, but still you don't know this is the flower. Still you shall need Sabda Pramana. Somebody has to tell, this is what you are experiencing, this is the hibiscus, this is the rose. Some name has to be given, somebody introduces to you. Shabda Pramana is not common or is not essential only in the Brahmajnana, Brahmavidya, Atma Vidya, but in every type of knowledge. How will you know this is the universe? You are seeing every moment, this is Madras, Ashram. This is Prithvi, this is the earth, this is solar system, this is the universe, this is the universe. How will you know that? Shall you change the earth to universe? Think, friends. Shall you change the earth to solar system? Shall you change the solar system to universe? It's already the solar universe. Universe you are experiencing. I want to know the universe. You are. One word. But the people who will be practice-oriented, oh, these are words, words, words. Yes, words are needed. It is words are needed to be used, to be thrown. Just like the pole vault. You take the pole vault, hit it, go beyond. That pole, without the help of the pole, you can't cross the barrier. But don't try to cross it with the pole. You will break your neck. Drop the barrier. Words are used. Truth is revealed, words are taken away. Words fall apart. When the 10th man is standing in front of the 10th man is experiencing, what the person who sees, what shall he tell him? Wait for 10 years, go and have some bath in the Ganges for 20 days, go circumambulate the Himalayas. The person who is circumambulating is 10th man, the person who is diving into the water is 10th man, the person who is holding the nose is 10th man, standing on the head is the 10th man, he is doing austerity or indulgence. No, you don't have to do anything, be practical, run, 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 run. No, you can do anything, run or be a lazy bone, you are still the 10th man. You saw things, do not say things, you are still the 10th man. For 10th man to be 10th man, what should you do? To reach a place which is already reached, what do you do? In your attempt to deny that you are it. If you don't do it, also you don't know. Nasti akrutaha krutena. Ajanya mokshaha, the liberation, freedom, which is uncreated, ever existing. Krutena karmana nasti. You can't reach it by any action of any kind. Religious action or secular action. Regular activity, religious activity. None of these things. Austerity, indulgence. Movement, immobility. Nothing. Ignorance creates the distance. That ignorance goes by knowledge. And here what is the 5 means of knowledge are gone. Words become the Shabda, become the Pramana. Like the 10th man shall say, the old man standing and says, you are the 10th man. Oh, shall he say, you are the 10th man or you shall be the 10th man? That is why in the scripture, when the teacher reveals everything, just like he says, count again. You say, I have counted enough time. No, count. If the teacher says, count, count. After counting 9, where is the 10th? You are the 10th man. This reveals it. So all the teaching that goes on, what all things you are not, you are not, you are not. Okay, all these things I am not. Then, only one line. Tat tvam asi. You are that. The teacher doesn't say, Tat tvam bhavishyasi. You shall become that. Or the student in his mighty intellect, student will say, now he listen to, but you shall go there and 10th man you listen now, you listen, but you have to go and do manana and think it over. Because 10th man to be a 10th man, he has to repeat it. Dasmosmi, Dasmosmi, Dasmosmi. Really? Really? You have to repeat? The moment you are the 10th man, I am the 10th. Finished. As when it is not a sadhya to be reached, therefore sadhana is meaningless. You are a Siddha. Once you are Siddha, you are appreciated, you recognize it. What should you do to be the 10th man again? Should you be again and again 10th man? What is this? All these things are talked about because average human mind does go through different types of aberrations. Forgetting is a habit. Not being serious is a habit. Not knowing is an habit. And conditionings of lifetimes is there. So confusion takes place. Thousands of roles confused you, complicate your life. But if a person knows himself, there is no confusion, no complication over once for all. We shall see more of it next class, friends. Just see that. This is the word which reveals who you are. Doesn't produce it. Lucky, anything produced in time will be lost in time. Gained in time is lost in time. Lucky you don't gain yourself, you are already gained. Lucky you are not reaching yourself, then you will be displaced also. Already there. That is what is yourself. Therefore, after you know who you are, what are you supposed to do? Close your eyes, please. So as we started the class, to see you must open or close your eyes. To see or not to see, open or close your eyes. To hear or not to hear, open or close your ears. To taste or not to taste, open or close your tongue. To think or not to think, have a thought or not to have a thought. Use a thought or not to use a thought. To be conscious. What should you do? What sense organ must be used? What organs of action? What movement? What thinking? Nothing is needed. Yet, friends, having seen it, for God's sake, for your sake, do not dismiss anything. Everything has a place. To be who you are, you don't need a name, a role. No object is needed, no perception, no sensation is needed. But to keep your body alive, help other people to be alive, every other thing is needed. So if somebody needs it, if somebody has a need for something, that something has a validity, we have no reason to dismiss it. If somebody says, I must pray, I must sing, I must dance, I must deny, or I must indulge, I must be austere, or I must be moving around the holy places, or sit down in one place, whatever you think, please do. That's your choice. But if you want to be yourself, no action can help. For the 10th man to be 10th man, no action needed. Because the moment you begin to do something to be the 10th man, you deny you are the 10th man. The moment you do something to be happy, to be immortal, to be all-pervasive, you deny all-pervasiveness has reached you. Happiness has reached you. God is already in you. Truth is in you. You cannot escape being the truth the self, the God, the immortality, the absolute, the happiness, the freedom, the love, the fulfillment, anything you word, anything you name, it all one and the same. Be that limitless, live with limitations. Be that changeless, live with the changes. And that's something, just a line, what we call Atma Gita, Aham. That word Aham is beautifully revealed by that one verse or the Siddha with which you started 15 classes have gone just to find the step by step, friends, what to do. So we shall see that how one word Aham, like Om, has the whole universe within it. We shall see that next class. Thank you.